To the American people, to the black community, you guys are being lied to and manipulated and programmed by the Democratic Party. They are controlling you. They are mind manipulating you into voting for them in this coming election. You want to know why? Google's starting to interfere the election. Now all of a sudden you can't type up the assassination attempt of Donald Trump. The automatic search result doesn't pop up. When you try to type in Donald Trump, President Donald Trump, it doesn't show up. And this is another kind of conspiracy theory, not really, that I have about the whole Sonia Massey shooting. Now, obviously, yes, it was tragic. It was disgusting. It was despicable what that police officer did to that young lady. She should still be alive right now. And I hope he rots in hell for the rest of his life. I hope he gets a bullet to his skull, because if he goes to prison, he's still going to get his 3 meals a day. An eye for an eye. You took a life, you get your life taken. But let's look closely at the Sonia Massey video. How come that incident happened July 6th? And July 23rd is when the police department decides to release that video. 2 days after Biden dropped out of the presidential race, because he dropped out July 21st. How come it seems that every 4 years, right around election time, there is a killing of an unarmed black person by a disgusting cop? And the Democratic Party seems to harp on that, fear-monger that, into getting the black community to vote for them. That's how they operate. 2020, George Floyd. Biden ended up winning. 2016, I believe it was Michael Brown, or 2014, something like that. Then you had Trayvon Martin. They capitalized on the black death by police officers to get you to vote for him. We had 8 years of Obama. Name me one thing that Obama did for the black community. We had 4 years of Biden. Name me one thing that Joe Biden did for the black community. They didn't do jack shit. They didn't do nothing for us. And all of a sudden, Kamala Harris takes over because Biden drops out, because they forced him to drop out, because they saw the numbers. They saw that Joe Biden had no chance in hell of beating Donald Trump in a rematch. That's why they imported 15 million undocumented illegal immigrants to this country to try to replace the black vote, because black people were starting to wake up. They saw the bullshit that Joe Biden was doing. They saw the nonsense bullshit that he was doing. They were trying to replace the black vote with illegals. But then every 4 years, when they don't do nothing for black people, every 4 years they bitch, moan, cry, and complain to try to get you to vote for them. And then when you put them in power, they don't do nothing for you. Nothing. Absolutely fucking nothing. Now all of a sudden, they're going to harp on this Sonia Massey death, and they're playing an old clip from Donald Trump, who continues to put his foot in his own ass, saying, hey, we're going to give police officers immunity. Ladies and gentlemen, a president cannot give law enforcement immunity. It first has to be drafted by a bill, then has to go through the House of Representatives and the House of Senate, then he has to sign it. And the mass majority of Republicans have never came out and they said they support mass immunity of police officers. So they continue to fearmonger into that identity politics, into racism. They play old clips of what he said and say, look, Donald Trump wants to make all cops immune from, police crimes. He cannot do that. He is not above the law. He cannot do that under his own power. It is illegal for a president to give police officers full immunity. It doesn't work that way, ladies and gentlemen. But for those who don't know no better, they're going to see what the mainstream media says and say, oh my God, I got to vote for Kamala Harris. But Kamala Harris has done nothing for the black community. I don't care about her dating history. I don't care what she used to do when she was growing up. I don't give a shit about that. Forget her race. Forget the fact that she's a woman. Forget her gender. She does not do shit. She was in charge of the border. She let 15 million undocumented illegal immigrants into this country. Now the mainstream media says that no, she was never the border czar, when in fact she was. Hell, there was even a tweet that she tweeted out when she said, yes, I'm going to take care of the border. Thank you to President Donald Trump, Biden, for giving me the task to control the border. I'm paraphrasing. Biden even appointed her the border czar. And now the mainstream media say, no, she was never the border czar. You see how these people lie and they try to cover up their own lie? The tweet of Kamala Harris saying that she was going to take control of the border is now all of a sudden gone. You can't find it. She deleted it. Why? Because she didn't want to get caught in that lie. Ladies and gentlemen, they're trying to program you to scare you to vote for them. Since the Democrats have been in power, they have not done anything for the black community. They had the majority seats in the House and the Senate. How come they didn't pass the George Floyd bill? They control the House. They control the Senate. They said, yeah, we're going to get it done. Even if you had a few Democrats who were against the bill, Republicans were in favor for it. How come they didn't pass it? They didn't pass it. How come? How come since the Democrats have been in power, there's been laws passed against anti-Asian hate crime? There's been laws passed to protect LGBT rights. But there have been no laws or bills passed to protect black people, to help black people, to help the black people that are struggling, barely getting by. But they're going to continue to depend on those food stamps, on those EBT cards that the government is giving them. When you rely on somebody to feed you and give money and put money in your pockets, they control what you can and cannot do. And that's exactly what the Democrat is trying to do. They saw that the black people this year were not going to vote for Joe Biden again. They saw the disaster that was going on at the border. They saw the millions of imported illegal immigrants trying to replace the black vote. New York, Chicago, California are the 3 states with the most black population. Those are also the 3 states with the most illegal immigrants. Why? They're the ones who get in free food, free money, free health care. But yet black people can't get an extra $100, $200 at the end of their paycheck to make their ends meet. How come that's the case? And the Democrats have been in power saying, yes, we're going to help you. They're going to try to continue to portray this narrative that it's the white people's fault. It's the white patriarchy. In fact, it's their own fault. They haven't done shit for you guys. They continue to play the good cop, but they're in fact actually the bad cop. And I'm not a fan of either side. Both sides are horrible. I'm not a Republican. I'm not a Democrat. But I made no silence about it. I'm voting for Trump this year because guess what? The most important thing to me is making my money, keeping most of my money, not having my money sent over to foreign affairs, to Ukraine, Israel, support genocide, giving all these illegal immigrants houses, cars, insurance. That's something that I'm struggling that I can't get with, that I cannot get. And when the Republicans were in power, life was pretty good for the black people. Black people were working. Black people were making money. The market was better. They'll be able to afford to buy a house, to buy clothes, to put food in their stomach, keep a roof over their head, provide for a family, not have to worry about other bullshit nonsense coming into their home. Not having to worry about how they're gonna put food on the table for the next day when their rent increased, their mortgage increased, gas went up 25%, groceries went up 100%. Life was better under Republicans, and that's just the truth. That is the truth, whether you like to hear it or not. Look at the numbers when Trump was president compared to Biden. Inflation was at an all-time record high. People had to deplete their savings, their 401ks and stuff like that, their investments, just to make sure that their light bill was paid, just to make sure that their rent was paid, just to make sure that their mortgage was paid, just to make sure that they had gas in their car. While everything else was increasing, their wages were staying the same. But yet people coming into this country legally were getting everything. That's what people are tired of, ladies and gentlemen. And I don't want to hear, oh, vote for Kamala Harris because she's black. She has not done a goddamn thing for the black community. Now all of a sudden she wants to pretend that she's one of us. Really? When you incarcerated a couple hundreds for simply having marijuana, yet she smokes herself. When the Biden administration came on and said, hey, if you make under $400,000 a year, you will not pay a penny in taxes. Guess what? The people who are making under $400,000 a year got hit most with taxes. They paid the most in taxes. All these people do is fucking lie, and you just gobble that shit up like it's the Bible. When are we gonna wake up? They're not here for us. They're here for them. And if you continue to put Democrats in power, they will continue to import voters to overshadow the black vote. That is what they've been doing for the last 4 years. That is what Google is trying to do. That's owned by Alphabet. They're trying to interfere in the election so that you do not vote for the other party, whether you like him or not. That's why there's no pop-up search results coming up for Donald Trump or the assassination attempt on Donald Trump. That's why they're trying to manipulate the numbers, say, oh my God, look, mass people are registering to vote. When people are registering to vote because they don't want Kamala Harris in power. They don't want another Democrat in power. They're tired of the Democrats in power. Wake up, people. We're only 99 days away from the election. It's about to get real. Wake the fuck up.